Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity. When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7,000 people accompanied him on his last procession. The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's son, Wenceslas IV, whose father had prepared him for this moment all his life. But Wenceslas did not take after his father. He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate.
The hell?
Welcome, Henry.
I finally found out where the Forger's workshop is. Master Fayfar was right. The Forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
What's that? Hey, who's there? Hey, who's there? Well, I never. The pig turns up winning
Break it up! What's up? Over here! Where is everyone? Quick!
I'm going
I'll
to
slay you.
I'll be with you, Henry.
I finally found out where the Forger's workshop is. Master Fayfar was right. The Forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
What's that?
What are you doing here?
Hey!
Fireflies, are you?
Galahad! Raise the alarm!
To her! Over here! Where is everyone? Quick!
I'll find you.
Stop pitching! I'll send you. Fuck it! You'll get. Is that all you've got?
Come on then, you whelp.
You call that combat? On again!
Is that the best you can do?
Gone weak at the knees, have you? Fuck! Is that all you got?
Scheiße! Gott, hilf mir!
Well, I never. What is it?
Watch out! You've got it searing hot.
Put that sack there. Jesus Christ. Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kabila.
And who's he?
That's no concern of yours.
I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement. I have plenty of coin.
We can come to an agreement that you'll keep your mouth shut. Please, don't take this personally.
Wait!
What? Do you want to do it? Be my guest. It gives me no pleasure.
You can't kill him. I have orders to take him to Ratai.
That is unfortunate. I have orders to kill everyone involved in this business.
You can't do that!
I have no choice, as you are aware.
Why do you want to kill him? He may have valuable information.
For that exact reason. My master does not wish this man to fall into the wrong hands, especially those of Radzig Kabila.
You can tell your lord the man is dead. He'll never find out.
But he will. Or do you think you can lock this man away from sight until Judgment Day?
Why not?
Do not be naive, boy. Look around you. This land swarms with rats and snakes, especially now. There is no secret that is not for sale. If I let you have him, my own head will be on a spike before the month is out.
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
How do you know about the Rosenbergs?
Master Fayfire recognized the writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there's nothing safe from prying eyes in this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kubila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Please, please. I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go. Let's go. Master Fayfire is very keen to meet you.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fayfire. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rattay. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Rattay then.
Greetings, Henry.
I finally found out where the master... The entrance is on... I've no idea what...
I will be glad to give it.
Who's there?
What about?
What are you doing here?
What's the...
Tired of life, are
Hey!
you?
Well, I never...
Over
here! Where is everyone?
here!
Quick! Hey, all of you!
You call that combat?
Raise the alarm! Raise the alarm! Watch out! Over here! Where is everyone? Quick! Is that the best you can do? I'm gonna enjoy this.
You'll get what for?
You should have fucked off while you had the chance. The answer to my prayers. Just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
Fucker!
Jesus Christ. Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kabila.
And who's he?
That's no concern of yours.
I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement. I have plenty of coin.
We can come to an agreement that you'll keep your mouth shut. Please, don't take this personally.
Wait!
What? Do you want to do it? Be my guest. It gives me no pleasure.
You can't kill him. I have orders to take him to Rattay.
That is unfortunate. I have orders to kill everyone involved in this business.
You can't do that!
I have no choice, as you are aware.
Why do you want to kill him? He may have valuable information.
For that exact reason. My master does not wish this man to fall into the wrong hands, especially those of Radzig Kabila.
You can tell your lord the man is dead. He'll never find out.
But he will. Or do you think you can lock this man away from sight until Judgment Day?
Why not?
Do not be naive, boy. Look around you. This land swarms with rats and snakes, especially now. There is no secret that is not for sale. If I let you have him, my own head will be on a spike before the month is out.
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
How do you know about the Rosenbergs?
Master Fayfire recognized the writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there is nothing safe from prying eyes in this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kabila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Please, I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go. Let's go. Master Fayfire is very keen to meet you.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fayfire. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rattay. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Rattay then.
Greetings, Henry.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
Master Armourer, I have a message for you from Blacksmith Zack.
If it's another one of his so-called generous offers, you can go straight back and tell him I'm not selling, and that's that.
No, this is another matter. Vitus wants to challenge you to a duel.
What? Me fight with that brat? Zack must have lost his mind entirely.
That's not how it will be. The real duel will be between your pieces of handiwork.
How's that?
It will be a duel with bludgeons. No bloodshed. At most, a few bruises and some dents in the armour. Zack chose me to wear Vitus armour.
And so I'm to choose a champion of my own? That sounds reasonable.
Good. So let's agree on the time and place.
Hold your horses, young fella. I've got a counter offer for you. Now, I'm sure Zack is paying you well.
I won't deny it.
I could pay you more, and I'd tailor-make a cuirass just for you. What do you say?
You mean if I fight as your champion instead? I'm not sure how Zack would take it.
No, you fight on Zack's side and lose.
That's not very honourable.
And Zack's constant slander and mudslinging are the height of honour, are they?
Well, it's true Zack hasn't behaved like an honourable craftsman.
See? So, will you help me?
All right, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Zack won't know what hit him.
So, choose the time and place.
What, me?
You're the one being challenged, so it's your right.
Well, it's all the same to me. Go and sort it out with the bailiff. He should know about it anyway, so I don't look like a troublemaker.
All right?
Take care.
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
I'm here on behalf of blacksmith Zack.
Zack? What does that madman want now? Don't tell me. It's another complaint about the Master Armor. Well, you can tell Zack if you waste another minute of my time with that pathetic feud of his. I'll have him up for disrespecting the office of the bailiff.
No, it's not a complaint this time. In fact, Zack came up with an idea to settle the dispute once and for all.
Is that so? Well, that's a different kettle of fish. That's just what I was after. You have my full attention, friend. What's his plan?
A duel.
Jesus Christ! Has he lost his wits entirely?
Don't worry, Goodman Bailiff. No one will get killed. It will only be a duel with bludgeons. Zack chose me as his champion. I'll be wearing a suit of armor made by his son, Vitus, and I'll fight Otter's champion. Whoever falls first, loses.
That sounds like a fine spectacle for the village green. Naturally, I'll have to be present to ensure nothing untoward happens.
Your presence is certainly expected, Bailiff. We'd like you to referee the whole duel.
Very well. We'll have it on the marketplace in the front of the church. But when?
That's up to you.
We can announce it right now.
Let's do it.
I'll have it announced around town. You come along at just the right time. It'll be a fine show for the townsfolk, and I'll finally get that pair and their constant squabbling off my back. Take care. Good citizens of Sasau, our township has long been plagued by a protracted dispute. As you are no doubt aware, Zack, the blacksmith of the monastery courtyard, and Master Armourer Otto Rabstein have been, for some time, at odds. And in so much as it behoves my office as bailiff to settle such disputes and maintain peace and order, I have decided to resolve the blacksmith's quarrel by unconventional means, whilst affording an entertaining spectacle. In short, we shall let them knock each other's teeth out. However, since it ill befits two respectable tradesmen to maul each other on the market square like a pair of cocks on a dung heap, each of them has elected a champion. Zack, the blacksmith, has appointed to fight in his stead Henry of Scarlet. And Master Otto Rabstein's champion will be... Please, introduce yourself, Sir Knight.
Master Otter will fight for Master Otter. I don't need some young pup to take my place.
I remind you that this will be a duel with bludgeons alone, and until first blood is shed. Come, folks, be sensible for heaven's sake. We don't want any maiming here, or, God forbid, murder. So, if both contestants are ready, let us begin.
You're dead. Dead. fucker!
What the hell are you playing at, you blockhead? That old fart made a complete fool of you.
Maybe Vitus armor isn't all that good. To be honest, it pinches in a few places.
Not good? You... How dare you? Vitus's armor is a masterpiece. It's not his fault you fight like an old woman. Now get out of my sight before I shove the bludgeon up your ass.
Would you believe it? I broke a spoke on my cartwheel again yesterday.
What, again? How many times is that this month?
3 times.
Come for my reward.
It's a good thing you're here. I'm glad you didn't change your mind about throwing the duel. You could land some hefty blows if you wanted to.
Maybe.
I'll give you one of my older pieces, but I adjusted it so it'll fit you like a glove.
Thanks.
If you ever need anything else, stop by.
I will.
God be with you.
How are you, Henry?
Good day, Henry.
Is someone there?
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me? Take care.
What the hell are you doing?
There's work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I'd tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
Damn.
Hey, watch it. Lout.
Jesus, look where you're going.
How are you, Henry?
Greetings.
I need the key to Yezhek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
If I were you, I wouldn't question Sir Radzig's orders. Give me the key.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Can you teach me how to defend myself better in combat?
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
First, you have to have some skills to hone.
Well, I'll think it over. I'd like to learn to fight better with an axe.
Certainly.
I'm interested in more advanced techniques.
Wouldn't you rather learn the basics first?
Well, I'll think it over.
Goodbye.
Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
It's true to say I have a lot of questions.
Well, there you are, then. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who were you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right. The way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times. Not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so. This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I have to think about it. I don't want to annoy Sir Radzig.
What have you learned?
All sorts of things.
There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. Sir Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
I'm not sure where to start, sir.
Then ask around the alehouses and inns, or at the Rathaus. Someone must have heard something. These things can't be entirely kept in the dark. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you. But I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
As you command, sir.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
And what's your idea of suspicious?
Have you heard of anyone looking to hire some rough men?
Mercenaries, you mean?
Yes.
There were some fellows conspiring here in the corner twice a week, and others coming and going. They didn't look entirely respectable, but they never made any trouble.
Is there any way I'll recognize them?
Unquenchable thirst? They drank like fish. They were rough-looking too. Big-bearded and scruffy. Aside from that, they mostly kept to themselves.
That's not much help. What did they do while they were waiting for someone?
They drank. And they played dice. I do remember there were always dice on the table.
So they were fond of dice, were they? And where would you find a game around here?
Anywhere there's dice and usually drink. That's all you need for a game. Although it dawns on me now, I never saw Simon with those men, oddly enough. He's got a nose for drunken dice players with a coin to lose.
Simon who?
Why, the young miller. He runs Katzig Mill. Neighbours are always slandering him for trafficking, but who knows? Maybe he just has a knack for business.
And what happened to them?
I don't know, they just stopped coming. And I haven't seen hide nor hair of them since.
You haven't heard anything about where they went?
How could I have? They just stopped coming, and that's that.
Where do you think they might be meeting now?
How should I know? I'm an honest innkeeper, not a man-at-arms. They could be meeting at another inn. They could be meeting in the woods by the light of the moon, for all I know.
You don't know where I might find some more dishonourable folk?
And why would you want them? They'll set tongues wagging about you.
But they'd be the ones to know what reputable townsfolk don't.
I grant you that. Well, we don't have an executioner, just a knacker. But he's an odd fellow. Like any knacker, I suppose. And there's some strange tales about Miller Simon, too. But I'd say it's just jealousy.
What can you tell me about the knacker?
Decent folk don't talk about him. He deals in carcasses.
I was hoping you'd tell me a bit more than that.
Why should I care about him? He lives in a house by the church, and that's all I know. And all I'll say.
What can you tell me about Simon?
There's not much to tell. He runs Katzig Mill, and some say thieves meet there at night. But isn't there gossip about every miller? I don't think he's a sinner. But only God knows for sure.
Anything else?
You might not find him at the mill. He's a busy man, always out and about making some deal or other. And he likes to throw dice, especially when he sees a fat purse hanging on a drunken belly.
Thank you for the help.
Not at all. But why off so soon? Sit down for a tankard or a bite to eat. Farewell.
God almighty, has something happened to you? Did someone steal your fancy clothes?
I'm looking for some people you might know something about.
If they come here to drink, maybe. But I won't aid you in any mischief.
You haven't heard talk of any scoundrels in town?
Well, I have heard some things, but I can't say if they're true or not. There's some that talk just to hear the sound of their own voices.
And who's the most frequent topic of that kind of gossip?
Miller Simon. They say he's rich with coin, and it's not from the mill. But that's nonsense. Folk just don't know how much a mill can earn.
Anyone else?
Aye, there's talk of the knacker giving people the evil eye, or them that's not in bailiff's good graces. But I don't suppose that's what you want to know.
I've heard some rough men come here looking to recruit. Have they ever stopped in to eat or drink, or to arrange something?
There were some brawlers that used to fight behind the tavern, but they raised such a commotion, I went and complained, and the town watch drove them off somewhere.
I wasn't thinking about that lot. I'm looking for recruiters that hire mercenaries and other cutthroats.
Don't know about that. Every once in a while, a merchant will hire some help or an escort, but nothing more. Nobody comes here regular. I'd notice if they did.
Do you happen to know where the brawlers you complained about moved on to?
I've not got the slightest inkling. I'm just glad all the shouting stopped. It scared the horses in the stables.
Thank you, innkeeper.
Not at all. Would you like something to eat or drink?
I wanted to ask you again, innkeeper. Thank you, innkeeper.
Not at all. Good luck.
What the?
My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
I've heard talk about your knacker.
What's my neighbor been up to this time? Digging up corpses again? Or robbery?
Did he do that?
No, he didn't. But people thought he did. His house is nearby, between the rat house and the church. He's a decent man, a good man. But he's the knacker and the gravedigger.
That's good to know. I've got a few questions for you, Bailiff, if you don't mind. Have you been having some trouble around here?
And what business is it of yours? Did someone complain? Who sent you here?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me. He'd heard word that some unsavoury characters are holed up round here.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian. And he's got no dog in this fight either.
You have an inn, and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work, and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice, and restoring order was no easy matter.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. But now that I think about it, I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work, maybe as a merchant's guard?
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't get the job, they move on.
Sir Sebastian? Who's that?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery law to protect us against all this unrest in the land.
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction, is it?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here, and I should be more vigilant. The goal of the man.
Have you heard any talk of strangers in the town? Maybe people acting oddly?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they've been seeing him doing this or that, or people visiting him at night, but he's never done anything. He's a decent enough man, for a miller.
I'll try asking him if he's heard anything.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't go getting your hopes up. He might not be able to help.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sasau. Seemed likely they get up to mischief and people might complain.
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining, but I pay no heed to him.
And what does this Lederman complain about?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where, well, some youngsters go there to wrestle.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl
Henry,
there than in the
I'm
tavern.
glad you came.
At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my catchballs go by there from time to keep an eye on things.
You have an inn and the horse trails cross here. There must be many
Aye, it's true.
Has there been anything like...
No. It's been quiet here lately. I don't recall coming across anyone here.
Nobody looking for soldiering?
There's always...
Thank you, Bailiff.
I'll see you later. God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
Are you the local knacker?
I'm the local grave digger. But if there aren't any burials to take care of, I'll turn me hand to knackery.
Well, then you might know a lot of things that others don't.
I'm a decent man. Not always honest, but decent.
Anything fishy going on in these parts?
There certainly is. Candles are being stolen from the church, as brazen as that. What sort of people do that?
Ah, but have you heard of anyone around here hiring adventurers and bandits?
How would I know that? Most people avoid talking to me. I don't even go to the tavern much these days.
Thank you. I'll be going now.
Very well. Feel free to stop by any time. People shy away from me, except when there's a death, or the cesspit's full. Farewell.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
What?
Who are you?
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Tanner, I've heard all's not well with you.
It's better now. I must have eaten something bad.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice before kicking your arse.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to blows.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. But if you manage to pull it off, you'll get your reward.
Welcome, Henry.
Don't worry.
God be with you. God be with you.
God be with you, Henry.
God's sake, I do for you.
What went on with the tanner?
When things got lively, I wasn't here. The others were, though. Go ask them. Good luck to you.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
What happened with the tanner?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He came to test his mettle like everyone, but he couldn't even get past young Weed. Then he started whining about getting his money back because we tricked him, so we threw him out. He came back a few times after that complaining about all the shouting, ordered us to bugger off elsewhere.
But you didn't.
No. And when he got really annoying, he got a punch in the mouth. He hasn't been back since. Doesn't dare to. But it didn't shut that big mouth of his.
Farewell.
What are you doing here?
Nothing special. Just a little evening wrestling. It's good for your back and digestion. And your purse too, if you know your business.
If I wanted to join in, what would I have to do?
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try one of those three. Doesn't matter which. And if you whip all three, you can test your mettle against me. Fair enough?
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say a bout with me is no joke. Just bad humours.
How are you?
Good luck then.
I'm glad to see you.
Why did you thrash the tanner?
Because he came by one day, lost his money, and then started on about how we cheated him and ought to give him back his coin. He was a right pest.
He told me that you jumped him when he asked you to stop making a racket behind his house.
Well, that's sort of true. But he didn't start complaining until he lost his money. Before that, it didn't bother him. Take care.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
I heard you gave him quite a beating.
It's his own damn fault.
Really? He just came to tell you to go elsewhere.
That's what he told you? Bollocks! He came of his own accord. It was him started the fuss, after he'd lost all his money.
He really tried to have a go? I wouldn't think he'd have it in him.
He tried, but he didn't have much luck. He doesn't pack a punch. But landing it in the right place, ha! I'm not surprised he's got no children.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Farewell. Let's fight.
That wasn't bad, but now we'll take it up a notch.
Farewell.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad. But let's see how you do with me. God be with you.
Ow!
Let's fight.
You look pretty good. But I'm betting it was just luck.
We'll see.
See you later.
Ow!
I want to fight you.
You put on quite a show. Can't say I expected it.
Take care.
I've heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
If I knew you better, I might tell you. But as things stand... Good luck, then.
I heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
Willing to do anything? Meaning what? Something filthy like helping the knacker? I wouldn't know. Go and ask someone else.
That's not what I meant, but all right.
Good luck to you.
I heard someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
Maybe. I work in the quarry, and they're always looking for extra hands to replace them that's got something broken.
That's not what I meant, but thanks.
God be with you.
I heard that someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
No, but I'm always the last to hear of anything like that. I'll ask Punch. He'd know.
See you later.
Be a bit more careful.
The tanner sent me. He says you've been causing a commotion at night, and I thought I might convince you to stop.
Ha! So all his whining finally found a friendly ear, did it? Let me tell you something first, whelp. I'm the bailiff's man, and we're not doing anything wrong here. Old Lederman's only been whining like that since he lost a bit of silver. Didn't bother him before that.
He told me different.
Ha! Of course he did. Otherwise no one would help him. Go ahead and ask the lads. They'll tell you the same. It's God's honest truth.
I'll take you at your word. But what should I do now?
The way I see it, you've got two choices. Screw that old liar and leave him be, or get down to business.
Or there's a third possibility.
What would that be?
We put one over on that pinch penny. I'll tell him I've taken care of everything, and you and your friends don't show up here for a few days. I'll get a reward, and we can split it. And then you can come back later. It's practically free money.
I like the sound of that tune. The devil take the tanner. We'll hole up somewhere else for a few days, and you come and see us once you've got the coin. All right?
That was pretty good. I didn't think you had it in you.
You were really good. I've got to hand it to you. Most lads don't make it past me. So listen, I want to tell you something.
What's that?
There are people here looking for really tough men, and I'd say you fit the bill. So when you walk through town this evening, if there's a light in the church, go in and wait a while. If they like the looks of you, they might give you some work.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I want to get better at fist fighting.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot? Agree?
Well, now, a little more and we'll shake on it. Agreed. Now listen up. God be with you.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
I've taken care of the lads who were bothering you. You'll have a quiet evening tonight.
God bless you, lad. And here's something for your trouble and kindness. Unlike that miserable bailiff.
If anything else grieves you, just say the word.
God be with you.
The groschen I got from old Leatherman.
I hope he wasn't as tight as a drum. He always struck me that way.
Here's your full share.
That's not half bad. All that messing and fussing paid off.
And when do you aim to be back?
A day or two. We'll see.
I want to get better at fist fighting.
Certainly.
I want to achieve mastery.
You can't become a master overnight. You have to know almost everything before trying to achieve mastery.
Well, I'll think it over.
See you later.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God's sake.